Hello everyone, this is a filler episode because I haven't uploaded for over a month. Anyway, this is one of the episodes I talked about in the update video. So, without any further delay, let's talk about today's subject, monster classes. So, before we get into it, let's make the distinction of a class, alright? The class of a monster is based on its elements and or some extra factors. Let's start with a natural class. For a monster to be a natural monster, it must only contain one or more of the natural elements, those being plant, cold, air, water and earth. Very simple, right? Next up, we have the fire class. To be classified as a fire monster, you must have the fire element and or natural elements. Note, this can only go up to 5 for a reason I will get into later. So, let's explain this a little better. Kaina is a single element of fire and thus it's a fire class. Glau has fire and air and thus is a fire class. This of course goes up to the triples, the quads and quints. No hex though, because that would make the electricity element. So let's get into it. First, this is the electricity element, not the supernatural element. Some of you make this mistake. Second, the electricity element is made by combining the 5 natural elements and the fire element. And third, the class of electricity is supernatural / super ethereal. So, how do you find which monster is supernatural or super ethereal? Simple. Supernaturals are the wobbling, and for the Woobox it depends on what island it's on. For most islands, it is supernatural because it contains the natural and fire elements. It has some lore on why it sees the fire monsters as naturals, which I won't get into today, some other time perhaps. But if it's on a ethereal island, it uses ethereals, making it a super ethereal. Now that was a little complicated, so let's get back into some more easy stuff, eh? Like the magical monsters. To be a magical class, you need to have the magical element plus a natural or fire or both or only magical elements. For example, Truthfly is a magical monster because it contains the fairy element. The ethereal class is also very simple. You just need to have the ethereal elements, those being of course plasma, shadow, mech, crystal and poison. The dipster class is already reserved for the dipsters because they have the dipster element, duh. The legendary class is a little special because the monsters that have the legendary class just have the legendary element. But why? Because those are based on real people, with the weirdos being Big Blue Bubble developers / voice actors, and the Sugafam is based on Christian Boos. Now, another class that needs a little bit more explaining is the mythical class. Inside of the mythical class, there is 3 subclasses, let's say. Those being the mythicals themselves that only have the mythical element, the catalyst that has the dream element, and the dream mythicals which have both elements. The celestials are also easy to explain because they just have the celestial element. Now, I left these final classifications because of how different they are, those being the seasonals. Now, they are easy to explain, alright? Firstly, we have the only seasonal. The classification is called seasonal, that being Jamboree. Next, it's the core seasonals, those being Punkleton, Yule, Smootsul, Blabbit and Hula. And lastly, the Ox or auxiliary, damn that's a hard word to say, the Ox seasonals, those being Gobblegord, Spirit, Whizbang, Bookworm, Fiddle, Clavavera, Monculus, Carilong, and Vivain. Thank you all for watching. I hope you... Oh, yeah, right. You see, my headphones disappeared, so I couldn't really work on any projects, so the mythical project is pushed back even further, and thus everything else. Add that my router broke as well, so that also delayed me. Also, I wanted it to be better than the original, so I'm taking my time with it. Well, okay then. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Peace!